Welcome all to my session, and welcome to Microsoft Ignite as well. Hopefully you had a great conference this week. And without further ado, my name is Janaka Rangama, and I work for Dell EMC as a Senior Principal Engineer for the Azure Stack Product Engineering team. And I'm also a Microsoft Azure MVP, and here are my contact details if you want to get in touch. If you have any questions around, generally around Azure or the session I'm doing or any other thing as well. And I'm presenting two sessions this week. The first one is this one, and I have another session on Kubernetes tomorrow. So today's session is going to be about Azure Logic Apps and how we can leverage Azure Logic Apps to do process automation in cloud. So before I start the session, can I know how many of you are familiar with Azure Logic Apps? Okay, cool. So from a process automation perspective for on-prem, for IT professionals, we used to use a lot of tools. A couple of years back, we had different tools to do integration services and automation with on-prem and cloud. For an example, one of my favorites on those days were Microsoft System Center Orchestrator. But when it comes to Azure and different cloud platforms, it's ever-changing game. And Microsoft Azure provides a complete serverless application platform with different tool sets. So throughout the conference, you may hear about sessions around Azure Functions, Azure Logic Apps, and Azure Event Grid. So in my session, I'm going to talk a little bit about Azure Logic Apps and what we can do with Azure Logic Apps and how we can leverage Azure Event Grid to connect with Logic Apps and provide process automation and automation tasks. So from an automation perspective, how many of you are running Azure Logic Apps today in production? Oh, quite a few. So if you come from a traditional bespoke background, Azure Logic Apps is the perfect replacement for that tool that you've been using. And I come from a previous to my current role, I come from a consulting background. So I have worked with different number of customers who are working in Azure, but they have other systems like SharePoint and Microsoft Teams that they want to integrate with their applications that are running on Azure. So been working on a couple of different technologies as such, and from my experience, I found Azure Logic Apps to be quite easy to configure and work with. So predominantly, if you are not from a coding background, or if you think that with Logic Apps and functions it will be harder for me to learn and adapt this technology, I can prove you wrong when I start my demo. So with Azure Logic Apps, you can create custom processes and workflows graphically through Azure Portal as well. So, and if you want to automate, you can use ARM templates and you can use the JSON notation to define your Logic Apps. So how it differs from the other two of the equation is, now Azure Functions actually about how you trigger your workflows using the event-based architectures, where Azure Event Grid provides all those underlying events that you can find in the Azure Fabric. So in my demo as well, I'm going to showcase two use cases where I'm using a pure a Logic Apps solution, where I'm using an Azure Logic Apps to trigger some events, and how I'm going to integrate that same Azure Logic Apps with Azure Event Grid and going to point some outputs in Microsoft Teams. So the demo is not super complex, it's pretty basic demo. So if you have any questions about how what are the advanced integrations we can do, I'll be around after the session, we can discuss. So capabilities of Azure Logic Apps. So when this product came into the market, we had a set of connectors, as we say, that we can use to connect to different products, different platforms, and make sure that they integrate with our applications. Now, what I found in the last couple of months, last 7-8 months, is the number of connectors that are available in the solution has been ever growing. So I see more preview features day by day now. And the other thing is, if you don't have a connector for your solution, for an example, if you have an application called XYZ, which doesn't have any native connector with Azure Logic Apps, you can create custom connectors. So anything that is exposable via an API, you can connect with Azure Logic Apps. So like I discussed, there are about over 200 connectors. So a couple of popular connectors that I've been working on with, I've been predominantly using Microsoft Teams and Outlook. Of course, my demo is around Microsoft Teams as well. And Office 365, those are some common examples. So Twitter. And when you want to learn about Azure Logic Apps, so for an example, it provides when you go to the portal and when you want to create an Azure Logic Apps, there's a number of templates available there. For an example, if you want an action to be triggered based on a tweet that is on your Twitter timeline, how to connect that. Those are some good examples that you can find in the Azure portal. So, another good thing that I should remind you is that now customer use cases, integration, automation use cases differ from customer to customer. So for an example, some customers might have a requirement to use Azure automation and hybrid workers, and their use cases doesn't necessarily qualify for something like Azure Functions. But one thing you need to keep in mind is these technologies, all these technologies are tightly integrated. So you can use Azure automation runbooks to work with technologies like Functions and Logic Apps and Event Grid, so that you can provide process automation with these technologies. For people who don't like to use the portal to create these automation tasks, there is a Azure Logic Apps designer view available with Visual Studio as well. What I found was now it's pretty much the similar experience. So even though you design that on the portal, or if you design that on the Visual Studio application itself, there's no much difference. But if you want to provide some infrastructure as code, that's a kind of a capability, you can definitely write your Logic Apps using ARM templates and so on and so forth. So now I've been talking about Logic Apps. So to be very basic about what it is pretty much how you can replace your legacy enterprise integration solutions. Now, what do we have with Azure Event Grid? So think Azure Event Grid as the central repository that you can create to capture all those events. For an example, when you create a virtual machine, there are a lot of events going on in the back end. There will be network cards created, there will be hard disk created, there will be compute power created, stuff like that. So from an Azure Fabric perspective, using Azure Event Grid, you can capture those events, and you can use those events that you captured for event handlers like Functions, Logic Apps, Azure Automation, and webhooks. So there will be inputs for those event handlers, and then based on those events or the things happen, you can trigger your automation workflows. So the functionality that was available with Azure Event Grid, now if I'm not mistaken, Event Grid is now GA. So it doesn't support the entire spectrum of Azure services we have as of today, but it provides support for a couple of decent use cases we have. For an example, one of the use cases I like is the storage resource provider. So I can see when there's any changes happen to a blob or somebody has uploaded a file. I can immediately notify someone using a email or a tweet or a message in a Teams channel. So the event publishers or the generators, there are a couple that is available. You have resource groups, you have subscriptions, then you have storage accounts, likewise. So it's not a complete list or all the resources that is available in Azure is compatible with Event Grid, but it's a start. So now, without further ado, let's see how we can take a simple use case and see how we can implement that with Azure Logic Apps first, and then let's see how we can implement the same thing with Azure Event Grid. Okay, so I have created 2 Logic Apps. I'm pretty sure this one works. I haven't tested the other one anyways. So my use case is, now I want to see, I have a storage account, inside that I have a container. So I want to see when someone uploads a file to that container, I want to notify some person. So I can do multiple ways. I can use I can issue a tweet to a particular Twitter account, or I can send an email, or I can issue a message in a Microsoft Teams site. So I selected the using a Teams site. So the application is pretty easy to set up. So what I did was I actually created a resource group, and inside that resource group I have a Logic App and I have a storage account. So this storage account, inside this I have a container called My Files. So when somebody drops a file into this container, I want to be notified. So the way I design my Logic App is, if I drill down to my Logic App and the Logic App designer, now each Logic App starts with a trigger, right? What triggers this process? So in my case, what triggers this process is when a blob is added or modified, right? Now you have to remember, during the design of the Logic App, you'll have to use a couple of connectors. For an example, if I want to connect to a storage account, I need to make sure that I'm authenticated to read and get the information from that storage account. So here, it is actually connected to a storage account. So if you create a brand new Logic App, it will ask you to authenticate. So there are a couple of ways you can authenticate. If you have, now I'm pretty much, I used my account itself to authenticate, but for your customer scenarios, you don't have customers' credentials. So you may consider stuff like using managed service identity or service principals instead of providing credentials. I had a use case where a customer wanted to implement some Logic App solution, but their corporate password policy states that every account, including service accounts, must expire in 45 days. It was quite the challenge, even service account. So it was a tough challenge, so I had to work around service principals and managed service identity, and it was a great use case as well. Now, what I'm going to check in this Logic App is, now since I have already created this Logic App and it's in the designer, so you can see I'm checking the container called My Files every 1 minute for to see whether any file has been added or modified, right? This trigger is not an automated trigger, so that means every 1 minute this Logic App is gonna check for files. So if there's any successful criteria met, so if there are any files added, it's going to trigger the next part of the workflow. So the next part of the workflow is to send a message to an existing team. right? So let's try to drop a file and see whether we are getting a message. Right, so it's a basic text file that I'm dropping, and it's uploaded. So now, without waiting 1 minute for this one to kick in, I'm gonna manually trigger this workflow. So I can go to my Logic Apps and I can run the trigger manually, right? And once I run the trigger manually, or when it's running onto the schedule, if I go to the trigger history, I can see how many successful triggers that have been there. Now for an example, I have triggered at 12:10 and I can see that the process has fired. So basically I had a file. So ideally I'll be checking the team side. So as you can see, it provides a message called container has been updated. So I'm providing the file name plus the last modified timestamp. So pretty easy. Now how do I do with this with the event grid? Now, so with the event grid, I have created another Logic app where the trigger is when a resource event occurs. What that means is, now if in a storage type called storage accounts, so I'm within the resource group called demo store. If I have a storage account inside that, if somebody does a modification like uploading a file, deleting a file, something like that, I should get the same result. Now what is in advance I have than the previous example here is that I can actually filter what sort of files that I'm gonna select here, stuff like that. For an example, now I can target this to a specific storage path, specific file type, stuff like that, right? But you can do the same thing using the previous example as well. Instead of using the event grid, I'll be using a filter in that case. So what I want to explain here is it's pretty much about how you design. So it's up to you to think what the logic is, right? So there may be, now for an example, my logic might not be the simplest way of doing that. But what you have to remember is, if you have a complex logic, that will always encounter to the billing of your Azure Logic Apps. The number of executions, the number of tasks that needs to be done. So the number of execution is the biggest hurdle. I've had a customer who just paid 25K a month just on Logic Apps. They've had nested Logic Apps and functions running inside that, and they've never realized that they've been footing the bill based on the execution. And it's pretty much the same same workflow after that. I'm just telling what is modified and I'm giving the event information, right? So if you want to start a brand new Logic app, what you can do is you can add a Logic app and then you can get the list of available templates that is there. So if you want to get started with that, you can easily find. So I've seen some cool demos around this, you know, manipulating Twitters, chatbots with Logic apps. Couple of use cases I've personally been involved is I've had a customer come with a document management system. So they have some FTP FTP file drop-ins. Yes, people still use FTP. And they wanted to be notified when the file was successfully uploaded, whether a file has been come from a different system, stuff like that. And couple of other use cases was there were some customers who wanted to do custom monitoring around Azure functions and web apps. So in that example, I couldn't, you know, satisfy the requirement purely using Azure Monitor. So I had to use a couple of custom Logic apps. So the possibilities are limited. You can use this you can manipulate Logic apps in any way you want. So if you haven't already started with Logic apps, I would encourage you to have a look and start with that. And possibly you can use Logic apps instead paying like using a virtual machine or something like that for your automation tasks, and maybe eliminate having a huge bill in your Azure account. So you can evaluate the session, and if you have any questions, I'll be around. So I just wanted to give you a bit of information on how you can use this Logic Apps for your process automation. And thank you for attending my session, and hopefully you'll have a great conference this week. Thank you.